I really like that about especially the long runs. Like I like the process of those long runs when it hurts and you think you're tired and you want to stop and you just don't and you just keep going. I love those. Right? You get a different thing from lifting. I feel like coming out with a pump, like fucking pushing weight so you don't die and drop it on your fucking head. Like you getting those pumps and just pushing weight and holding cold bars and just pulling weight and moving weight and just the clanging and banging and stuff like that. I love that shit too. But I just get into different states of mind when I'm doing it. They're not the same to me when it comes to mentality or the mental process of it. But I love doing both. I was always a big you know me before. We used to always say we live so we can eat. So we.
If I did this for the money, would've gave up long ago. It's the passion and the drive buried deep down in my soul. It's ambition, I'm too hungry, I ain't never getting full. On a mission, it's a battle, locked and loaded, bulletproof. On my mission, on the way to the top. Got my whole team strapped, we prepared for the ops. Entire life I've been the underdog, odds against me. Mama, look at me now, I'm ferocious and filthy. I'm a pit bull.
Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to the Needs and Built podcast. Baldy Boys are back. And we're here to tell more stories of our journey to possibly help you on yours. Today's different.
What episode is it?
13, boy.
Yes, sir.
13. So it's 2023. It's our first podcast officially of 2023. We dropped the last one that was for 2022, but this is the first official one of 2023. So in sequence with us starting to we're going to start putting out those workout videos and stuff like that. We wanted to have this podcast go along with, starting the year off for people to go along with that. So today we're going to talk about something that
that some of us struggle with.
Yeah. And it's a debate between a lot of people on what they want to use to, reach their fitness goals. Yeah. So today we're going to talk about it's basically off our experience with, strength training versus cardio, right? Yep. And as you guys know, we're already, I'm kind of indulged into both of them. So, and Mark has really gotten.
I'm dipping my toe in.
Yeah, into both of them since he's already set up for, running his first 5K and then getting ready for the, half marathon this year. So we want to talk about that, our experiences with that, and we're about to get into it. This is not fucking scientific fact or anything like that. We're not professionals. We're not professionals, but we've experienced a lot of it, and we've done both, obviously. So we're gonna just talk about how we feel about both of them, but this is all still based off of you and your goals. All this is still based off your goals and what you're trying to do. So I know I get different feelings from both of them, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of my goals, especially when it comes, it's all about mostly discipline and mentality when I'm doing both these different things. And obviously I want to make physical gains too, right? But I've gotten different things from both of them. So, I mean, my goals are very different from your goals, and your goals are different from the next person that's starting their New Year's resolutions, and they're people are talking about losing weight or just getting more fit or gaining more muscle, stuff like that. So that all depends on what your goals are. So let's say for me this year's. Really, for me, it's more, I really want to be kind of more like a hybrid athlete where I can run endurance-wise and still lift too. Yeah. I'm not like a crazy strength training, like where I just lift heavy as shit, all the time. I'm not that type at all. But I do want to have really good endurance. And I want to still be able to lift some pretty heavy weights at least, now and then. And just the same thing when, like right now, the training that I'm doing, like strength training, it has to go along with my marathon training. The way I'm lifting has to supplement my goal for the marathon, right? So um, I set up my workouts and stuff like that for that. But
Me, I'm more of a willy nilly. I don't have a structured plan. I just know, what needs to be done.
mhm.
I definitely still favor the lifting side more than the,
Oh yeah, for
the
sure.
running side. For me, it's easier to get to.
Mhm.
Running for me, I feel like it's a huge thing, especially the time frames I have.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I favor more of the heavy lifting side. Definitely can tell I'm not a runner, but it feels good to get the cardio in, to get the running side in. Um, I feel like it opens up a whole nother level for you, even while you're weightlifting.
Yeah.
It almost helps you with your breathing and stuff like that. For me,
Mhm.
like I experienced yesterday, I was pushing a heavy ass sled, against not against it, but I was working out with another guy
Mhm.
who's a strength trainer. Like that's all he does is strongman stuff.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And he's huffing and puffing.
Mhm.
He's gassing halfway through. I'm like, what? This is what he does.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel like I had my breathing under control, so I was able to push farther. I'm also maybe probably a little bit stronger than him, but I feel like whenever I get to those stages, like that's where the cardio has helped me the
Yeah.
most.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So like when it comes to the cardio and cardio versus strength training thing, right? So like New Year's resolution people, like when they have their goals set for the years, so like weight loss, and they don't know which one to go with, right?
Mm.
So it's like, oh, how do I do it, right? So should I run? Should I just do running? Should I just lift weights? Should I do both? Like,
I think people take the running first.
yeah, and
When it comes to
it's
weight
always
loss,
what
the
it-
first thing they think of is run,
run, yeah,
or more
Yeah.
cardio.
and so there's different things about it that so with running,
There's pros and cons to both.
yeah, there's pros and cons to both, right? And so when it comes to like this, just say straight up weight loss, right?
Uh-huh.
So running is the like number one thing that'll help you lose weight. Like that's just you will lose more weight initially with cardio. If that's all you were doing, just cardio, you will lose more weight initially.
Yeah.
But the thing about weight loss is about cardio is that only lasts for so long. The cardio can only get because you do burn more calories
Right.
doing cardio. That's only gonna
It only
go for
gets you
so
so
long.
far.
Yeah, just because your body becomes more efficient when you run. So you'll burn maybe a mile run will burn a certain amount of calories for you, but then at some point your body will become so efficient that it won't burn that amount of calories anymore.
Huh.
You know what I mean? So like when people see calorie trackers and stuff like that when you're running, like on your watch or your phone or treadmills, those things are very, I mean, they're a good general reading of what you're doing, of what you're burning, but you shouldn't be going by that because people's body types are different. Like if we both got on, and because the thing doesn't know our bodies, right? The machine doesn't know our bodies.
It only knows numbers.
It only knows the
It
numbers.
usually asks for your age, your weight,
Yeah.
and then whatever heart rate you want to stay in.
And they
That's
say,
about
like,
it.
yeah, and then let's say like treadmills. Like once you jump on a treadmill at a gym, it doesn't know anything about you. Like it's just giving you, oh, you ran a mile. Here's 100 calories. You burn 100 calories, right? So like your body will become more efficient. So then it will stop. It won't burn as many calories, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is the only way for you to burn more calories is for you to either run farther, run harder, or faster, right? So, but when I'm a big strength training fan, and if you really look at it, strength training and building muscle is what's really going to help you long term in losing weight and keeping weight off, right? Because you burn fat, you build muscle, and when you build muscle, you build your metabolism, right? And so that means like and the thing about strength training is you're not burning as many calories in the time frame you're working out, but you're also burning calories throughout the day from your body trying to recover, right? So when your body's trying to recover from that strength training, it's still burning calories until, like, let's say the next workout or the next day. And when you're when you're building more muscle, like I said, right, you're building your metabolism. It's like you can eat. That's why people will see people with like bigger muscles and just more jacked people can eat a lot more and keep the weight off because their metabolism is just it's high, right?
It's on fire. Yeah.
Yeah. So if that's why I think for me, strength training has always been a better a better way for, I guess, to lose weight and to keep the weight off if you stay consistent at it, right?
Yeah.
But I think since I've combined cardio with the weight training, it's really easy to keep body fat off. Like it's been I wouldn't say just easy, but because you're doing both. But it's just it's a better way if you have both. If you have the time where you set yourself, I'm gonna work out 5 times a week, and you have like, even if you did just like 3 or 4 times a week, and you just said I'm gonna do 25 minutes of cardio, or half an hour of cardio, half an hour of weightlifting, like that's way better than just doing one or the other.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, and I think like building muscle too, like so strength training is it's basically kind of been proven that muscle is the factor for longevity. So like most people that have more muscle, you're more durable. Basically just durability, and those people like live longer. I mean, if other factors don't come into play like sicknesses and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But just building muscle, strength training is overall way better for your health long term than cardio. And if you didn't know, the number one sport that people get hurt in is just literally running. Running can cause so many injuries, and you see a lot of people with knee injuries, ankle injuries, back stuff. That's why I didn't run before, because I had back injuries and stuff, and it was just fucking hurt.
So weight training can help prevent injuries.
Yes. So the weight training,
because you're strengthening all your muscles, all your supporting muscles.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Help you get better form probably while you're running.
Yeah. Because it's like the marathon training, right? Like I use the strength training to build my durability, right? Because during the training I don't want to get hurt, so the strength training helps that. That's why I have literally one day where I just do a volume of deadlifts. Like the deadlifts help me with the power, all the, especially the back stuff, because before I couldn't deadlift. You remember that? I couldn't deadlift.
You and me both, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't lift the weight off the ground because of my back, and I had like sciatica and stuff like that. And since I started running and just pushing myself through the pain of running, and then my body started, like I said, becoming more efficient and starting to like get stronger, I was able to start figuring out how to and get the right form to deadlift and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's something I noticed for myself as well. Like with jogging, I call it jogging. I'm not running it, but I call it jogging. I feel like strengthening my legs is key.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I've kind of been focused on towards the end of last year. More, like you said, high volume of deadlifting. I was doing like 100 reps something, and that's all I would do, just that, and then I just end on a leg extension or something like that. But I do feel like strengthening the legs, because that's what you're using while you're running, has helped me especially. So that's one thing for people who are looking to start. Even the beginning of last year when I tried to run on the treadmill, I felt like I was gonna pull a hernia. Like I was getting these groin pains like bad, even while walking. But I noticed while strengthening, while my legs were already getting stronger, I said that must be the key. So I started to incorporate deadlifting. And not crazy like shoulder squats, but with kettlebells and stuff like that. Just strengthening the legs, it definitely helps. I've seen a huge change.
And then that's why I'm saying, like, when you combine the two, because because you also depends on like we said, it depends on the person's goals, right? So like if your goals, because you can have those different goals where you want to, like I said, it's either weight loss, build muscle, train for something, like train for the marathon, right? So those things have to combine. Some people just fucking, like they said, build muscle, but some people want to get thick, and that's the thing too, like getting in a bunch of calories and fucking lifting just heavy weight, when they go in, or just lifting. And it all depends on your goals. And if like your goals this year is to lose weight, like I said, you have those options of the cardio, right? Like the running and stuff like that, walking, whatever it is. And people really sleep on walking. Like I think people really sleep on walking, and they think that they're not doing enough when they walk. Like I'm telling you, like if you go out every day consistently on good, brisk walks, like where you're walking with intention every day, or like every couple days, like that, it does a lot. Like because I know every time I went on a walk, I was sweating, bro. Like I have that sweat in my hoodie or whatever. But people sleep on it, and
I went from 0 to the first round of 75 hard up to 30 minutes on the of jogging on the treadmill. And when I first started jogging on the treadmill, I could barely do 5. So, and the only thing I was doing was walking every day. Walking with intention, stepping it up on the hills when I felt strong enough. Eventually kind of pushing myself slowly, but surely. But yeah, that stuff works.
Yeah, because
know?
I mean, you went from walking to then I remember this. What was it? Oh, towards the end of 75 hard the first time you started. Oh, I tried to jog this time.
Yep, tried to jog and
Yeah.
boy, it didn't work. But I did feel stronger.
Yeah,
I remember trying to run up a hill and was like, geez, man, my knees felt like
yeah,
they were just taking a beating.
Mhm.
But yeah, just starting slow, I think it helps.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to a point where the second round, now I'm outside.
Yeah.
And I'm killed 2 miles
Mhm.
easy.
Mhm.
So the gains are there, but you have to start small. I think you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's probably just a psychological thing, or like a
Yeah, for sure.
everybody wants to start
Mhm.
at a certain point.
Yeah,
but
and you can't.
yeah, you have to really look in the mirror and say, where can I start? You
Yeah.
know, where am I actually at?
Yeah.
And so building the base, which we've heard before,
Mhm.
I think is huge. It's important. If you have to start slow, you have to start slow.
Mhm.
You have to accept that and just go.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because what I see a lot is like you said, right? People want to be at a certain point when they start.
They want to be there.
I'm like that too.
Yeah.
I really am
I
like
think
that.
a lot of people are.
But I know, I know now, I'm very, I'm big on the process. I understand, when I start where I'm at, and not overdoing it, because you have that point you want to be at, but you're not there yet. You can't be there yet. You just, there's a process to it, right?
Yep.
So people get discouraged when they figure out the first week or two that they're not
there yet.
right? So they stop, they quit. You can't, you just be okay with you're not there yet, and
Accept
you'll
it.
get there. Just be
You
okay
have
with
to.
it. Start, you're at a certain point, and you'll get there. You'll be happier about it, honestly, than there's more what do you call it, sense of accomplishment, right?
Yeah.
From you building up to that. Let's say it took you a month just to get to the point where you thought you were going to start, right? There's more sense of accomplishment in that than you going out your first week or two and meeting what you thought, you or where you wanted to be at. I'm telling you, there's way more, because you had to spend the time to work to get to that point.
Yeah.
It's like me. So I'm like, every time we start like the marathon trainings, right? Or because we were on 75 hard last time, and we started what was it, September, right? When we started 75 hard the second time, it's early September. So when we started the second time, I didn't feel good at all about running. When we got back into it, I didn't feel like I was at a pace for a marathon. I was thinking in the first week, I'm like, fuck, dude, I can't believe I'm gonna run a marathon like this. I'm dying. It's a fucking 3 or 5 mile run. I'm dying right now, right? And then but you push yourself through that, and then now, my runs, and the runs for real, you push your hard every time. The long runs before, the runs before, the 7 miles, 8, 9. If it's not double digits now, for me, I'm good. It's a cruising run, it's a chill run, right? So it's just pushing that, and now I'm just really comfortable with it, because you just got to keep pushing through and trying out different days, and you're gonna go through those days where it just doesn't feel like
that's completely normal.
Yeah, and I I was just telling my wife, bro, yesterday, my run on Thursday, or was it Friday? It didn't feel smooth at all. It was a rougher run. It wasn't even a long run. It was just, it's regular in weekly run, and it just didn't feel smooth. I guess I was still feeling the kind of soreness from deadlifting the day before, stuff like that, but it just wasn't a smooth run. But I did it, right? You just have to do it, because that's part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, people get so caught up in they want to be at a certain point when they start. You're not gonna.
You can't come out of the gates hot.
Yeah, you can't.
You're pushing too hard, too fast.
Mhm.
Like you said, you're gonna feel sore. It's gonna hurt, and then you're not gonna want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Especially if you're coming from a background where you came from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to build the discipline first. And I think the easier way to do it is just start slower, start smaller.
Yeah.
Like a snowball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It starts small. You just keep rolling it. It gets bigger and bigger, and eventually you'll get the momentum you need to push harder, or to be where you thought you were going to start at, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a difference.
Yeah.
Just start slow. Start slow. Low and slow wins the race.
Yeah. So this was kind of the thing that I was having with the marathon training for this time around, right? Because I have a certain goal that I'm trying to meet, right, for the time frame. But so I chose a 20-week program, but I cut 4 weeks out of it. So, and I had I was really gonna just take out the first 4 weeks of that training program.
You felt like it was too easy?
Yeah. But then I was no, let's start small. Let's just be okay with, be comfortable with the small stuff.
Yeah.
Build a little bit more because I haven't run that much since the marathon, right? So let's go ahead and be okay with the small, the
Slowing
3,
down.
5 miles, 7 miles. Just be okay with that.
Yeah.
Let's do those and then build up from there. Like there's no point in me trying to go too damn hard. When I have 16 weeks to train for this, I'm gonna go all hard as shit in the first couple weeks, and then what happens? Injuries. That's when the injuries come. And then this is the thing about that, right? So like when you push too hard in the beginning, people will show up and like I'm gonna go hard as shit,
Yeah.
fucking, and
Yep.
if you get hurt, then you can't do anything anymore. So you take away all the days that you could be training, and you miss out on all the like another week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of training when all you have to do is start off slow and build from there and keep so you can show up every day. Like there's a very big thing for me that I will push myself, but I will make sure that I am not gonna hurt myself because if I hurt myself, I can't show up the next
Then
day.
you're out. Yeah.
Yeah, you're out. You just can't. Then you can't move forward. You're going backwards again, right?
Yeah.
So you always want to keep moving forward. So don't. It's not a. It's it's one of those things where you have to kind of get rid of your ego. Don't worry about what other people are fucking thinking, and worry about building yourself. Because if you can't show up the next day because you wanted to, ego lift or ego run, then you're losing out for yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you won't be able to show up the next day. You won't be able to put the work in the next day the same way you wanted to, with the same effort, all that stuff. So focus on building slowly and understand that process, because pushing too hard and hurting yourself, because I've been hurt. I know what it's like, and it's not fucking fun. You did all that fucking work to now sit your ass out and then lose everything that you built and watch other people be able to show up, every day, and
then you're missing. Yeah, you're sitting
saying?
on the sideline watching. Another thing to consider is, especially for beginners, like myself, starting from zero.
You're talking about with running,
with anything,
like cardio,
running, cardio, weightlifting, with anything. If you're starting from zero, something is better than nothing.
Yeah,
I'm starting from not doing anything to maybe I only did 20 minutes of cardio today. Or 20 minutes in the gym today, but that was more than I ever did the lot before I started. Yeah, so the slow start is better.
Yeah.
Then coming out the gate from zero to I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna fucking wreck myself today, and I can't show up tomorrow or the next day because I'm still sore. Unless you're just a freak and you love pain like that. But
yeah, I mean, not everybody's fucking David Goggins, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out David Goggins.
Yeah, but yeah, and then so like when it comes to the cardio and the cardio and strength training thing, right? So like I get into a different zone for both of them. Like I like running, so these are the two reasons why I like the two different fucking ways of working out, of training. I like running because it usually when I'm gonna start running, I don't want to run. Like that's just kind of what it is, right? Like I don't want to run, but I know already what it makes me feel like while I'm doing it and when I'm done.
Yeah.
Right. So when I'm running, it puts me in a way like calmer state, and like I don't know if it makes me feel like like because I do run kind of hard sometimes, and then sometimes it's just those easy pace long runs, right? Yeah. And I feel like the state of mind that I come in, and it gives me some kind of like peace, and like I can think, and you can get like all these thoughts in like while you're going, and then you go through that roller coaster during the long runs of I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, it hurts, stuff like that, and I really like that about especially the long runs. Like I like the process of those long runs when it hurts and you think you're tired and you want to stop and you just don't, and you just keep going. I love those. Right, you get a different thing from lifting. I feel like come out with a pump, like fucking pushing weight so you don't die and drop it on your fucking head, like you getting those pumps and just pushing weight and holding cold bars and just pulling weight and moving weight and just the clanging and banging and stuff like that. I love that shit too. But I just get into different states of mind when I'm doing it. They're not the same to me when it comes to mentality or the mental process of it. But I love doing both. I was always a big, me before. We used to always say we lift so we can eat, So we used to fucking go in there and lift, but we weren't doing it every day. You know what I'm saying? Like we go 4 days a week. That was like our thing. We go 4 days a week and 3 days off. Like, and we weren't running. There was no cardio involved.
Nope.
and
barely any leg work done.
yeah,
Dude,
barely any leg work done. And
we had a
'cause-
few hit sessions, but those,
yeah, we didn't stick. We weren't like fucking building the overall fucking
Yeah.
you know us that we wanted to build. Like
Yeah.
there was a really
I'm
good
still building, by the way. So
we're still
Yeah.
building. Like it's a I guess the way we were doing it before it was cool. Like it's something, right? We were doing something.
it was the bro wave.
yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
It was bro science.
It was the bro way to lift, and
Yeah.
now it's like a different thing for us, right? And it's like we said, it all changes over time. People's goals change, right? So like if you're a new mother, you just want to lose some weight, you have a different set of different way of going around
Mhm.
going about that goal. If you're somebody like a guy that's you just been out of shape for a while, and used to lift, and you've been out of shape for a while, and you want to just get back into it again, you want to start lifting weight, but you want to lose some body fat first. Okay, I'm gonna start running first,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna add cardio into my workouts before I start lifting. And you go through those different phases in life, like we were talking about earlier. You go through those different phases in life that you have these different goals set, and you have these different accomplishments you want to reach for like why it took me until I was 33 years old to want to run a marathon. I don't understand why, but that's what it came to. And before, when I was in the Army, I feel like I was I think that, I was in better shape, but I don't think mentality wise it would have got me through a marathon. Like I wasn't there at that point, so you just reach those different phases.
Yeah.
But yeah, the running and the lifting stuff, it brings me to two different spaces, man. Two different spaces, and I love them both, and I feel like I need them both. Yeah. Like that calm state, and then it's like that warrior fucking mentality when you're lifting weights and you're moving weight, and how much it's like for me when I'm lifting weights, it's more about how long can I push myself through these reps, before because I always think about the like how strong I can get, and I'm big on like muscular endurance. I like muscular endurance and how long I can, because most of the reps are like I sit around a fucking 10 to 15 rep range, pretty much for everything.
Where bodybuilders are like 8 to 12, 8 to 10,
and that's what I sit around that most of the time. I'm not a big 3 rep max guy or 1 rep max guy. I'm not really. I don't really like that stuff just because, and that's my preference. Like other people, you have yours, and it's totally fine. Like everybody has their different preferences, right? But we have different goals. So my preference is to sit around those different those rep ranges because of I just want the muscular endurance. I want my body to last longer, and especially for a marathon, like I need my body to be able to go these distances and handle the volume of the mileage that I have to put in, right?
It's a lot of miles. Yeah,
so it's an overall kind of like an endurance body, but still muscular body. Because a lot of people see the fastest runners in marathons, they're skinnier people, and they fucking float.
I call them carbon fiber.
Yeah, they're gone. Yeah. But it's just different goals and different times for people, man. And it all depends on your goals and what you want to do. Like we said, weight loss immediately. It's that cardio life, and then you have the people that you want to add weight, put on weight. Yeah, you have that strength factor.
Even for people who want to lose weight and look better about feel better about themselves through looking better. Yeah, the weight training is going to help too. Oh yeah, because I mean, if you're starting from zero and you're doing all this cardio, you're burning all the fat. Yeah, what's under it? Yeah,
nothing. Exactly. Yeah.
And I think that's the next phase after that. You lose weight, or even while you're doing it, you should build your muscle under it, because I think it definitely help make you feel better.
Yeah, and it's just that's a body composition thing, right?
There you go.
So like I always think of it like this: like you have that body fat, and then you have your muscle, right? So like as you want to build the muscle and lose the body fat. That's why I'd like to think of doing both, because you have the body fat and you have the muscle. So as you burn body fat and you build muscle, they come together, and then you just have a leaner, leaner look. You have a fucking, not that you have to be buff, but looking lean, having muscle under in there, and overall you're just gonna feel better. Like it's just having more muscle and being able to, because when you run alone, like when you run alone and you're trying to lose weight, that means you have to eat less too, right? So like over time, like you have to eat less to be able to burn those calories, because you burn those calories like pretty much while you're working out, right? And you do have to recover. That's the thing. You have to recover from those runs too.
Yeah.
But you're still not burning as many calories as if you were strength training. You know, like afterwards, you're not burning as many calories afterwards. But during that time frame, people will go into like, okay, I'm just gonna do cardio and then I'm gonna eat less. But over time, that kind of kills you, man, because for you to keep running and not, it's weird because I talk about it in the sense of running for training for a marathon. But if you're just like somebody that's,
if you're just an everyday runner,
if you're just an everyday runner, like people think, okay, I'm gonna run and then I'm gonna eat less. It's really hard to do that for a long period of time and then just think of it like this: if it's something that you can't change and keep and kind of make a habit and it's not sustainable, it's not a really good way to go about it, right? So like that's the one thing about like we were talking about, like people that make those resolutions to lose weight. They set the hefty goals of something and then they do something like a real quick diet, right? Like a keto diet, something for 30 days, something for 60 days. And then you kind of go back to what you were doing, right? So that you lose weight, then you just kind of put it right back on. 90% of people do that. Like it's a real fucking big thing. But if you're starting off something, you want to start something that is sustainable, something that's more of a lifestyle change than it is just, I want to lose weight quick and then you quit and then you go back. So what's the point? It's just a cycle, right? Of continuing to do that. So you want to stick to whatever it is that you're, something small, build up from there, because
it's key, man.
Yeah, because and we notice it a lot. We notice it a lot. People, like I said, you don't want to get discouraged and go backwards. You want to always keep moving forward when it comes to these things. So set those goals and make it something that you can do consistently all the time, and then build from there. Because you can start with, I'm gonna walk a mile every day. That's way better than I'm gonna run this mile every day. And then after that, you get tired of it and you just said fuck this. And the thing is, like I said, right? You run the mile every day. Your body becomes efficient, and then you start wondering, why am I not losing weight? I'm running a mile every day. So because over time your body stops, your body becomes more efficient, and it won't burn calories the same way that it was burning in the beginning. Because in the beginning you're gonna lose weight, from running that mile every day. But give it 3 weeks, a month, it's not gonna burn the same way.
You're gonna plateau.
Yeah, you basically plateau.
Yeah.
So then you get mad and you just quit. So just know that you're going to have to keep pushing yourself further when it comes to especially just cardio alone.
It's the long game.
Yeah.
And another thing we didn't talk about was the nutrition side of, or eating side of working out.
Yeah.
That's something I definitely struggle with the most. You brought up eating less and still trying to run the cardio. That's kind of what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
But for me, I know my habits. I eat a lot. You know what I mean? And when I sit down, I eat a huge portion. So what I've been doing lately is really cutting back during the day. And then my dinner is the biggest, the meal that I have. But I know nothing about nutrition when it comes to stuff like that. So I'm just kind of seeing what works, So that's one struggle that I'm going through right now, because I feel like I'm still in the transition phase.
Yeah.
With building habits, building, my foundation of trying to better myself, trying to get, in better shape. So I'm in that middle. I'm in the middle of that process. So when you start talking about things, I'm like, damn it. I was like, oh. Mentally, I'm like, okay, I got to change my plan here. What did he say? I got to go do this again. I got to eat more, apparently.
So the thing, bro, like I always tell you this, bro, like, and I keep it very, and I'm, like I said, I'm not a pro. I'm also still learning like how my body adjusts to all of this and how my body works and how I can maximize, my body to get everything out of it that I want, right?
Yeah.
And what I've always like really done is really kept it fucking simple, because I don't know everything about every fucking nutrient and everything that we need. I don't know that shit.
Yeah, I think that's why during 75 Hard, I felt like fasting was the easier portion for me, because I knew just don't eat here, okay, and I can eat here.
Yeah,
so just try to keep it reasonable when you're in the eating with. That's for me, that was simpler.
Yeah,
so I think you're right. Keeping it simple is
because what people will do is when they want to lose weight is they'll say, oh, I got to eat healthy, so you're just eating salads or something like that. Like that's not really. Yeah, you're gonna lose weight, but then you have to also think about what you're putting your body through when you go from not exercising to exercising, right?
Yeah.
So you're asking your body to do more, but you're not feeding it more. It's like asking your car to go further when there's no more gas in it. Like you can't do it like that, bro. You have to feed your body what it needs. So like the biggest thing that I always make sure that I'm putting into my body is carbs, which people are very scared of. It's just not. And if you are working out, you don't need to be scared of carbs. Like
Yeah.
I don't. Carbs is like my
Look it up.
yeah.
Google it.
Like people are so scared of carbs, but carbs is not. If you, especially if you're doing, you're doing anything performance wise, you need the carbs. The carbs is carbs
Yeah.
is literally the fuel to give you the energy to do your workouts and stuff like that. So I mean, at least for me, like I'm just saying, from the way my
You
body
just don't eat the
works,
carbs in excess.
yes, in carbohydrates in excess, where because it's literally energy that sticks in your muscles, and then it's gonna use it immediately.
Yeah.
When so if you like, I always keep it simple with my meals. Like carb and protein, like carb and protein. I don't eat a bunch of vegetables and shit. Like people think they need to eat salads. Yeah,
Do you use supplements for that?
and I use a supplement for
Your-
my vegetables and
Yeah.
fruits. Right,
Yeah.
I eat fruits pretty much. I'll eat fruits like bananas and stuff like that pretty much every day, but getting the salads or the greens and stuff like that, I use supplements for that because I don't fucking want to
Straight
eat.
caveman.
It's not that I don't like vegetables. That's not what I want to put on my plate. I guess when I'm just eating, like when I'm eating, I'm thinking of my my workouts or my shit the next day. So I know I need carbs and I know I need protein to recover. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm all
That's hella simple.
Yeah, and I keep it very simple, just like that. And when I did that same thing last year during 75
Yeah,
hard,
I was gonna say that was your bread and butter.
yeah, and I fucking lost weight,
Yeah.
and I built muscle. Like it was exactly what I wanted to do. So that works for me. I'm not saying it's gonna work for you, but yes, you do have to be in a caloric deficit to lose weight. That's just how it works. You can talk
It's
about
math.
yeah, you can talk about all the shit like not eating fast food, not eating it. You can still do that. Honestly, you can still do that kind of shit if you're still in a caloric deficit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can still go get a fucking, McDonald's French fries after a workout or whatever, get a burger as long as you're in a caloric deficit. Like, but if you overeat, it doesn't fucking matter. We were doing the same shit, right?
Yeah.
So when we were doing our fucking post-workout chat on shit,
Yeah.
me and this guy fucking ate a lot. We would go and eat. Was that lunchtime, right? We go get fucking
Qdoba,
fucking
Sam Choi.
yes, all that stuff. We'd eat like
I miss
crazy.
Sam Choi.
But it was the same. But it was also kind of the same thing. It was a lot of rice, protein, right?
rice and
We ate rice and meat all the time, but we ate in excess. Like and we weren't even working out every day. It was 4 days a week. So you don't. We weren't exactly losing weight, but we were getting thicker.
I definitely wasn't losing weight. I was getting. I think I traded the fat for the muscle.
Yeah, you burned a lot of fat then.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
But I still floated around 280.
Yeah.
270
Yeah.
270.
I think your best at that time was like 272. I think when you started.
That's what I felt like.
I remember
I was
that
at my
number.
strongest. Yeah.
So it was always 272. So like it's for real. It's like keeping it simple. Like, and as I go through this process, I'll learn more and more too, right? Like about like how my body works and what more I need.
That's another good point. It's like you have to learn.
Yeah, yeah.
While you're on your journey of trying to better yourself or cardio and lifting, watch it. We watch a ton of videos.
Yeah.
And just take bits and pieces. Like with the whole running thing. What is it called? The Maffetone method.
Math. Short math. They call it math. Yeah.
Math.
Yeah. Maffetone. Yeah.
Of taking your max heart rate 180 minus your age. That's 80% heart rate.
Yeah.
And that's the zone you want to stay in while you're doing your cardio.
Yeah.
And when I'm running, jogging, that's what I concentrate on.
Yeah.
And that helps build, even though it feels like you're not running fast.
Yeah.
And you're not, doing anything crazy. Over time, that adds up.
Yeah.
You stay at that heart rate, but you're moving faster every time.
Yeah. So like that's what I was talking about. Like, so what he's talking about is the stuff I was talking about for like the long runs. You want to stay at a certain pace.
Yeah.
Which even the last run, like I'm sure they'll see it in the video, but I stayed at like a 9, I think it was a 9:05 pace for that 7 miles, but even that is too fast for the math method, and which I was okay with. I was only okay with that because it wasn't like that long of a run, 7 miles. Right. So I felt like I should push myself longer for this. But anything that goes into double digits, I'll sit back, sit at that 9:30, sit at that 9:45 because I want to be in that zone 3, that math, right? So I the fuck was I about to say?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the nutrition stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we used to eat like crazy. Like it was just a fucking thing for us. Like we live so we can eat, and I honestly think like we felt it. Like I had so much like back fat. Like I remember that before we started sitting for like, and I didn't even realize it, bro. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't like
You can definitely tell when I look back on the older videos. Like, yeah, you can definitely tell,
Yeah.
especially in your face too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
And I look back at that shit because it's like it's funny because I'm about fucking 20 pounds lighter than I was when we were doing that
Mhm.
shit, but I can still lift this pretty much on the same amount of
same-
weight,
yeah.
you know? So it's like I was just doing it wrong. Like we would eat so much right before that, right? So we eat at lunch. What time we have lunch? Like around 7,
7,
8
8,
o'clock
or
in
yeah.
the morning, right? And then we would lift around 11:30, 12 o'clock. And I mean, that's all the fuel we needed because we had so much, it was carbs and protein. Like we ate heavy, had all the fuel we needed, those carbs to fuel our workouts. And then after that, you know, it was, we
Still
go
had
home.
a lot of day left to
Yeah,
eat.
had a lot of day and we're just eating like crazy,
Yeah.
right? So you just build, you know, you get that thickness. But the one thing you really do want to remember is your body needs the fuel. Like taking away a bunch of calories is one thing, but you know, to lose weight, but
Yeah.
you have to understand that you have to refuel your body for the next day, for the day after, you know, stuff like that. Because people think, oh, I'm gonna work out really hard and then I'm gonna eat, you know, 500 calories and then that's it. Like you gotta feed your body.
You
gotta
think maybe
fuel your
that's why
body.
sometimes you go into a workout and you just feel the low energy?
Yeah,
I know some
yeah.
days I show up to the gym and I'm like, first of all, I get myself there by thinking about like no one
Yeah.
else is doing this. So I
Yeah.
got to do it. You know,
Yeah.
when I show up to the gym and there's no one there, I feel accomplished already. It's like, hell yeah. But then I go into the workout, I just feel low energy.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't eat much during the day. So
Mhm.
I mean,
And
that's probably what's
yeah,
causing that,
it has to be
feeling.
because it's and because and I only talk about this because I've felt it and I've learned that I can't be scared of food because I want to lose weight, right? You can't be scared of it. You have to just understand, and
Mm.
it's like the simplest way to put it is the calories, like just the caloric deficit. If you want to lose weight, you just got to be in a caloric deficit. Don't like, especially if you're starting, don't overanalyze it. Don't fucking worry about what you're eating and you know all that stuff like that. If you want to keep it simple, keep it in just worry about the amount of calories you're eating every day. But understand also if you go too low and you can't fuel or you know fuel your workouts, then you're taking away from that also, right? So you won't be able to go into the next run or your next lifting session with the same energy and stuff like that. Start learning about what fuels you for those workout, what helps you get a better workout. So like let's say for like my runs, right? Like when I go on a long run, I have a bagel, I have a banana, I have coffee, and then I get a scoop or two of G1M Sport, depending on how long the run is or whatever.
What is G1M Sport?
The G1M Sport is one of the best supplements I've probably ever fucking. I don't like the fact that this guy came out with this was fucking just smart as shit because it's like for me, I don't like eating early in the morning. I just don't like eating early in the morning.
Yeah.
I usually wait about 5 hours before, or no, not even that long. It's maybe like 3-4 hours before I even eat my first meal. And he came out with this supplement that is just carbs and sodium, you know, electrolytes, basically what you need for, you know, just to get through fuel your workout or your run. And so it's not heavy, like it doesn't sit in your stomach or nothing. Like it's just a powder that you put in your water and you just, you know, drink it, and you can just get those carbs into your muscles a lot quicker than, you know, it's sitting in your body trying to break it down and then, you know, take it. So yeah, I take G1M Sport, and that's for, you know, runs especially. Now, when I have like for a lifting session, I'll eat out a couple hours before, maybe 2 hours before a workout, an hour.
That's
before.
what I'm learning too.
Yeah,
I asked Valentine at work,
Mhm.
like, what does he do to prepare for those lifts? He said he does the same thing.
Yeah,
He'll eat some oatmeals or something, you know.
Yeah,
something beforehand, an hour before he gets to the gym, and that helps him push through. So
Yeah.
I've tried it. I've been trying it.
it's like one of those things where you have to test stuff. You have to try different things and see what works out. But it's for real. And then after those workouts, you have to still what are you putting in your body? Make sure you get, like, it's like one of those things. Make sure you get protein in. Make sure you know you fill your body up, because especially if you're gonna go the next day. I'm learning like my energy is really based off of what I ate before that, right? So like I was telling you, I think earlier a couple months ago, I realized like when we were off 75 hard, if I ate pasta, pizza, something like that the night before I wanted to wake up for a workout, it was very hard for me to wake up the next day. But and it's like I'm not blaming that, but because it's just that because after I thought that, okay, maybe this is why I'm having a hard time working out. Then I went back to the diet that I kept eating more of like a Whole30
Mm.
type diet, right, with rice. But when I did that, woke up fine the next morning, the next couple of days,
Yeah.
like that, it all plays a role in how your energy goes into the next day, the next workout,
Yeah.
all that stuff. So just know what's gonna fuel you the best to get the best out of those workouts or those running sessions
Yeah.
that you're gonna do.
Yeah. And also know that nutrition takes discipline too.
Oh yeah,
Not just in the
big time.
workout and showing up, but it takes discipline to like look at something that
That you want
that you
so
just
bad,
want
yeah.
to demolish, boy,
Yeah. Yeah.
and say, no, I can't do that today. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that's another hard hurdle to get over.
Yeah.
But slowly, every day, you small victories, it's gonna
Yeah.
add up.
Yeah.
Because even me, when I work, if I decide, okay, I want to fast this morning,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna eat. And somebody comes with a box of donuts,
Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, now I gotta fight the urge. You
Yeah.
gotta walk away, or you just gotta really get in your head and say, no, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Make better decisions
Mhm.
overall.
It's that compounding interest, really, man. Just those
Yeah,
little wins
yeah,
every day,
yeah.
like that. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Since it's funny that you brought it up
Yeah.
because I really been thinking about it a lot lately. Those those little wins every day. It's like even me, man. Like during the week, I see it all the time. Like, oh, fuck it, I could just easily just drive down to Wendy's, get me some food. But no, it's like I know that I need this. I know that I need this. Like when you know already what gets you like to maximize your day, like you don't. It's so hard to go backwards, right?
Yeah.
So like even drinking beer, like yes, like I drink a lot before. Like every weekend, I was looking forward to the weekend so I can drink. But it's very different for me now because I want to maximize each day, right? So, but I like drinking beers with my uncles and my brother and some of the boys sometimes, right? So I give myself 1 day a month. Like that's what I do. Like I'll give myself a day. Like I'm not gonna burn myself out. I'm not gonna act like I don't have I don't want to spend time with my people. So I'll give myself a day, maybe two, but most I'm trying to stay pretty disciplined. At
Definitely
just
less
one.
than what you were.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
every weekend, not 2 days a week, a week where I'm just getting fucking smashed. So it's like knowing that I need to maximize each day and I can't do this. So I'm not doing that. So like, and then throughout the week, I have my days, I think about 5-6 days out of the week where I stay eating clean. And then Sundays after my long run, guess what? I get something that I want to eat. I enjoy that part because it's not a reward for me doing those things. That's not the way I see it. I just see it as there's things that I like, right? And there's things that I know that aren't going to necessarily help me, but I can still enjoy these things, and because I don't want to be that guy where I quit because I feel like I'm taking everything that I enjoy out of life. But I do love this shit. I love the process of all this shit. I love pushing myself every day, and I love fucking lifting, and I love fucking running. And I'm not gonna, and I love, seeing the levels that I get to. But staying disciplined, you can only see that through staying disciplined, like doing all those things, and you can only see results by staying disciplined to it. And those days where the donuts come around and the beers come around and the good food that you're on, it's a Wednesday and you're sticking to your diet, but I can just get a slice or thing. It's not that hard for me no more to say no to that. Like for me, it's just not I know for me, it's not going to help me. And it's not like, not everyone is, it's because I've been already doing it for a little bit now, where it's just, I know what I feel like if I do eat it. So I don't want to feel that way, bro. So, it's just one of those things where
it's a struggle.
It is. I mean, believe me. And I know you're over here looking at me like, bro, I don't know how to fuck this guy, but I'll eat that pizza.
I'll eat at least one.
Because I can give myself one.
But I heard something.
It's just for me, bro. Like this is how I'm trying to, function.
You're not trying to act better than anybody
No,
else.
not at all. It's just I want to be the best me. So this is what I have to do because I feel like if I don't, like I just feel like I have to try harder than everybody else to be at a level, because because I know I'm not the smartest. I know I'm not the strongest. I know I'm not the fastest, the fastest. So I have to do every little thing that I can do. You know what I'm saying? And for me to try and be as good as I want to be, I have to do these little things, right? I have to be disciplined like this, because I'm not where I want to be, and people are, really good at some of the things they do, and I feel like I'm always behind. And if I keep giving myself slack like that, then I'm going to keep falling behind.
I heard about that on a podcast or something about, fighting that urge inside of you. When you make that decision to have that thing outside of your meal, like a cheat meal,
Yeah.
or that dessert or that sugary thing,
Mm-hmm.
every time you feed that little thing in your head, is I'll just have one.
Yeah.
It gets bigger and
Yeah.
bigger and bigger,
It does.
and then it's out of control. Then you're back to square one.
Yeah, because you're compromising. That's it's always
you're
what
feeding that part of you that's
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna have this. And then tomorrow I'm gonna have 2 of those. The next day I'm gonna have 3 of those. So it's like that's something you got to battle. It's a real thing, and I think people forget about that part when it comes to the New Year's resolution, when it comes to bettering yourself.
Yeah,
man, it's as much as it's a physical game, it's also a mental game.
Yeah.
So
I
prepare your mind.
Yeah, it's way more than, I think it's way more mental than anything, because the compromise is once you start, like, especially us, we've noticed that, like with going through 75 hard, once you compromise, it's over. Like it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Like, 'cause once you give yourself, like, especially right after you're done, and you give yourself a little bit, it only takes about a month before you're right back in, almost back into the same shit you were doing. That's why I just said, nope. If I just stick to the habits when we're done, I'm good. Like, I won't go crazy. Like, it's not happening.
I feel myself do that all the time. Like, I just have one. It's like, damn it, I just fed that little monster in my head that wants to do more. Wants more.
And then it's the same thing with that. You compromise. That's compounding interest on that side of it. So
that's what people don't realize. Like, it's hard to show up and it's hard to do all these things when you're starting from zero. But it's also, it has
it works both ways.
Yeah, it works both ways.
It works fucking both ways.
So,
yeah, man, that was a good one. I mean, I hope there's some info in there. Like,
hopefully people can relate.
We're still learning.
Just relate.
We're still trying to figure this shit out too for ourselves. Just to be the best that we can be for ourselves, for our families. And for Nesian built and
even the business in general. It starts small, man.
Yeah, and everything. It's the same thing. It all translates over.
Translates into everything else in life.
Yeah, so that's what we're trying to build ourselves to build this. So, and for our families, like, we just want to be there. Like, it's longevity. Before it was about, I want to get strong as shit and all that, but now it's about being here as long as possible for our families and being here, being available to them, and being the best versions of ourselves for them. And if I'm telling you, if you don't have your health, you don't have everything. That you don't have anything. Like, that's once you lose your health, like, you're gonna wish you could go back and change what you ate, and if you're drinking every day and stuff like that. You start regretting it once you can't do anything about it anymore, when it's too late. And we just hope that more people just start getting ahead of that, and start just thinking of it a little more, like, because it is the most important thing to you. Our health is the most important thing that we can take care of, that we can control ourselves, for the most part.
And like I said earlier, some people aren't ready to hear things. Some people aren't ready to hear that, but hopefully the seed is planted.
Yeah. And if it's not a change right away, and if it's not your time, I feel like your time, or somebody's time, will come when they just you're gonna realize it's like when it hurts too much to not change.
And I think also what helps is giving your energy to the right to the right things, the better things.
Yeah.
People may think that, I can't do this, like you were saying earlier, I can't do this because I gotta do this.
Yeah.
But you're giving your energy to the wrong thing. If you want to hit a goal, it's got to be in the back of your head at all times, and you just got to focus in on it and just concentrate your efforts to not eating that donut, to not eating that pizza, to getting up when you don't feel like it, to getting out when you don't feel like it. That's the key. Yeah. It's important for me, at least.
Cardio versus strength training.
Doing both.
Let's go. Hey, hope you guys enjoyed that one. We actually have a special guest on for the next one. So and
stay tuned for that.
They'll actually go more into this. So stay tuned for that one. Thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate you guys. Love you.
See you on the next one.